Ian, thank the heavens you're safe, Otsu says, embracing you. It didn't take long for both you and Kojo to return to the temple. Otsu had been waiting, and was revealed to see you. You returned her embrace, grateful to see her again. Are you all right? The demon didn't hurt you, didn't it? The elderly woman spoke. She looked you over for any signs of injuries. I'm fine, Obi-chan. You smiled weakly. Ko saved me just in time, you added, as Otsu glanced at the said flame-haired male standing beside you. Thank you ever so much, young Rengoku. I am forever grateful, she said, giving him a tearful smile. Kojo only nodded. Otsu then took a note of your attire. Good heavens! What happened to your clothes? She questioned after seeing you were naked and only wearing Kojo's haori. Once you were out of earshot, Otsu then diverted her attention towards him, her eyes narrowing with concern. The atmosphere seemed to shift, as a storm was brewing just beneath the surface. The urgency in her voice was palpable as she uttered, I sense trouble, Rengoku-san. There was a hint of unease in her words, as if she had stumbled upon a hidden truth that sent a shiver down her spine. Otsu's intuition, honed for years by experience, rarely faltered, and her intuition now warned her of imminent danger lurking in the shadows. She glanced around, her gaze seeping the surrounding wilderness, searching for any signs of imminent threat. After you slayed the first demon that attacked our village, I've been putting talismans and wisteria charms all over Yokoyama to keep demons away, she exclaimed. However, I fear that they have somehow found another way around. Kojo nodded and only watched as she pulled out a ripped Ofuda. It was the same one the Demon Slayer course used. If the demon that kidnapped Yin was able to resist the protection seal, then I fear that there are more running around. Otsu then turned her gaze back towards Kojo, and he could clearly see the depths of her seriousness reflected in her wise old brown eyes. It was as if her eyes were windows into a world of wisdom and experience, revealing a determination that surpassed mere words. In that moment, Kojo couldn't help but feel a surge of respect for Otsu, admiring her unwavering commitment to her duty as a priestess. As priestess of the temple, it is my job to help and heal people. Young Rengoku, would you lend me your aid once more to protect the people of Yokoyama? Not for my sake, but for Yin's sake. Rather she denies it or not, Kazuna is still her home. Yes, Rengoku replied eagerly. Huh, you're just as adamant as ever, she smirks. Then consider this your final test. Otsu then reached into her pocket and pulled out a round, small object. It looked like a piece of red candy. This is called okiyoko, also known as red chocolate. It's a special type of candy that, when consumed, you'll be able to attract demons within 10-meter radius. All depends on how much you eat, of course, she explains. Kojo's eyes widen at this. Whoa, really? Yes. Long ago, it was especially for demon slayers. However, the product proved to be too much, even for the most experienced warriors, since many had lost their lives in honor of demons. Therefore, Akiyoko was banned, and the practice remains forgotten. Kojiro wondered, did Urashiki-sama know of Akiokoto? Is it hard to believe that such a tiny piece of candy could have such a grave effect? May I ask, what is it made out of? He questioned, curiously, getting the best of him. It's made from a rare type of fruit called Suketsu dokodoma, bleeding fruit. Or, I'm not gonna say this because it's so close to the N-word and I'm not black. I'm not saying it. Just an INGEN. no kororo, or human heart, she exclaims. Hence the name. It's a fruit that's shaped like a human heart, and has a sweet red substance that looks like human blood. Though it is sweet, it leaves behind an aftertaste like iron. Because of this, demons have found this fruit very alluring. Unfortunately, it only grows every 100 years, she says. Are you sure you're up for it? She asks, searching his face for a sign of capsulation. There wasn't, as Rengoku smiled. I am, he replied, before taking the candy from her and putting it in his mouth. Otsu watched intently as he gulped it down, his Adam's apple bobbing as he swallowed. And just as she said, though sweet on the tongue, the aftertaste did indeed taste like blood, which was iron. Luckily, it didn't seem to bother him much. Now, any demon nearby will be drawn to you. Best of luck to you, Rengoku-san, she says. Kojo nodded, and was about to leave when, Ko! He turned to see you standing there, now fully dressed and holding his hori as you walked up to him. Otsu smiled and slightly excused herself to give you two some privacy. As she quietly took her leave, you couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions swirling within you. You heard everything as you stared up at your lover worriedly. You really don't have to do this, Ko, you said. I know, but I want to. Don't forget that it is my duty as a demon slayer to protect people, no matter what, he says. You couldn't help but sigh, knowing that once Kojo made up his mind, there was no stopping him, and it was something you would have to accept in the future. Okay, just be careful out there, all right? You said, holding his hori out to him. Kojo nodded before taking it from you. In sheer honesty, there were a million things running through your head that you wanted to say to him, but you didn't know where to start. It was completely night out, and snow began to fall as your eye-colored eyes stared longingly into the red and golden ones. Soon it was Kojo who broke the foreboding silence between you two, as he leaned down and captured his lips with yours. His touch was gentle yet electrifying, sending waves of warmth throughout your body. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as you lost yourself in the intense of his kiss, feeling as though nothing else in the world mattered. Eventually, you eagerly returned the kiss as you wrapped your arms around his neck, holding him close to you. Kojo eventually pulled away as he rested his forehead against yours, looking into your eyes. Just think, when it's over, I finally get to take you back home with me, he says. As my wife, he adds, causing you to roll your eyes. You mean fiancé? You playfully corrected. Kojo let out a playful growl and sent shivers down your spine. But I prefer wife better. Then again, Miss Rengoku sounds good too, he smirks. Idiot. You pouted softly. I know. Kojo chuckles and slyly trailed his hand onto your ass. The bold action caused you to gasp slightly. But soon, all this will be mine, he says. Wow! Groping the plump mound through your yukata, you nearly melt at how he would start staring down at you. His gaze was intense, filled with a mixture of desire and admiration. It was as if he could see right through you, peering into the depths of your soul. The way his eyes lingered on your features made you feel both vulnerable and, how do you put this? Exhilarating. Key. There was indeed hunger in those red and golden orbs as you quickly grabbed his arm and commonly Jodoed tossed him into the floor, surprising him greatly. Kojo, though stunned, couldn't help but release a heartful laugh whilst you stormed away blushing. Pervert! He just loved your tsundere nature.